Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Kachi, a certified electrician who has ventured into farming. Welcome to this exciting series. In this series we are going to be talking about broiler management from the first day all the way to market day. In this episode we'll be talking about the management targets, the management actions which you are supposed to take in the first week of broiler rearing. What you see around this chicken house is a flock of about 6 days, and we are going to share with you some of the actions which we've taken so far and some of the principles which you can adopt as you are rearing your broilers. One thing that I'm supposed to mention here is that these principles that we are sharing do not only apply to broilers, they can also apply to layers, multi-purpose chickens. The brooding principles and the chicken rearing principles are the same across all breeds. If you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. If you are already subscribed to the channel, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. So, chicken rearing, the first week of having your broilers on the farm. What are the actions which you are supposed to take? The first rule I'm going to tell you is that in everything that you do when it comes to broiler rearing, let the chick behavior guide your actions. Look around here. These are 6 days old chicks. And usually with 6 days old chicks, at this time we are making this video, would probably have a heat source to try and help aid these chickens with the brooding. But right now, we do not have any heat source because the bird behavior does not suggest that we need to put any heat source at the moment. It is really important that you observe chick behavior in all the actions that you take. So, you cannot put a heater, let's say an infrared light, in the chicken house just because the chicks are 6 days old, when in actual fact they are panting. So, because of this behavior that they are exhibiting right now, usually we do not open the windows as they are right now, but the chick behavior has detected us to open the windows on both sides of the chicken house so that we can bring down the temperature. That is a very important rule and we are supposed to follow it at all times. Let us talk about the first week targets of broiler rearing. Let's talk about the target weight which you are supposed to achieve in the first week. So when these chicks come on the farm, the target weight for these birds when they reach 7 days old is between 150 grams and 180 grams. So you are supposed to make feed easily accessible by providing feeding trays, which are a ratio of 1 tray to 100 birds. But before we get to that, when the chickens just come on the farm, the first thing you want to make accessible to them is clean water. Make sure that the birds have clean water, they have access to clean water as soon as they are placed on the farm. And you can leave the water in the chicken house for at least 45 minutes to 1 hour before you can have the feed brought in. And that is with the brooder pepper inside the chicken house. We do not have the brooder pepper in here right now because these are 6 days old. We removed the brooder pepper a few days ago. So ensure that there is a brooder pepper in the chicken house when you are placing them. And as you are placing them, ensure that there is some feed which is sprinkled on the brooder paper, and there is also some feed on the feeding trays. So the ratio for the feeding trays again is 100 birds to 1 tray. 100 birds to 1 tray. We had a little bit more than 100 birds to 1 tray here. We had 6 trays, but we only had 300 birds. So that was good, that was an advantage. The other target which you are supposed to set in the first week is that of building the appetite of the chicks, especially in the first 3 days. You have to make sure that the chicks develop an appetite which will be a tone for the rest of their lives. So that can be done by adopting good management practices. If you are still watching this video and you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, leave a comment. So ensure in the first 3 days that you develop an appetite for the birds, which will set a tone for the rest of the chick's life. Good brooding practices in the first 3 days, that is how you achieve that particular goal. The other goal that you are supposed to set is that of trying to get the least mortality possible. That is 0.05% at least. Make sure if you can get 100% survival rate in the first 7 days, thumbs up to you. But if you can lose at least 1 or 2 chicks, that is also acceptable. You should know what is the acceptable loss. When you lose too many birds in the first week, ask yourself, what is it that has gone wrong? What can we do? Make sure that you act on these things as early as possible. In letting the birds determine your actions, the other thing you're supposed to pay attention to is the season and weather of where you are watching from. Where I am right now, you can see where the bulb holder for the infrared lights, which are supposed to provide heating for these chicks, are placed. Usually for a flock this size would have 4 infrared bulbs in here, but we only have 2. And as for the height from the ground, these infrared lights would only be at least 1 meter from the ground. But this time around, we've had them higher. They are a bit higher than they are supposed to be. Why have we done that? It is the season that we are in. Currently, the temperatures are somewhere 33 degrees Celsius, and these chicks are 6 days old. That means that these chicks are supposed to be in a temperature of somewhere 29 degrees Celsius, hence the open windows, in order to at least cool down the temperature inside the chicken house. Air quality is very important in the first week, because if the quality of the air is bad, the chickens may suffocate. They may not die immediately, but you shall see the results as they grow older. So, it is in the very first week that you are supposed to start implementing a lighting program. So, in the first 3 days of life for these chicks, what you are supposed to do is give them 72 hours of light. That means no dark hour at all. But starting from the 4th day up to the 7th day, give them 23 hours of light and 1 dark hour. A lighting program will help in developing the internal organs for these birds. And once the internal organs are properly developed, you will see the results when the chicks grow. As they reach week 4 and week 5, you will see the actions paying dividend when you reach week 4 and week 5. Again, getting back to heating once more. So we put these bulbs back at midnight. The reason why we do that is because at night the temperatures drop, and 2 infrared lights, 150 watts infrared lights, are enough to raise the temperature for us. Again, mark the words, for us. You are supposed to take your action based on your environment and what is happening in your area and the chick behavior. Don't forget about the chick behavior. Make sure it is the one which dictates your actions. The other actions for week 1 which are supposed to be taken is that of measuring the weight at the 7th day. You're supposed to measure at least, whether it is in bulb or 1 by 1, but get a good number of chicks. Measure their weight. If you hit the 7-day target weight, I can rest assure you that your flock will perform perfectly and you will make profit and you will enjoy chicken rearing. So just as a way of sharing and encouraging you, we placed 306 birds into this chicken house, and we've had 2 mortalities. We are still trying to figure out how that happened, but we are suspecting heat stress is what caused the death. But otherwise, if you look at the general welfare of these birds, if you just look at the behavior, you can tell that this is a happy flock. You can see by the way they are behaving that they are enjoying life at the moment. And when you come into the chicken house, you as a stockman, you feel it even as you walk into the chicken house. It is absolutely essential that you give your birds a good start, and a good start will help you to build on as you go further. So we still have 5 more videos that we are going to make just like this one. This is just the first week video. If you are not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you get a notification whenever we upload a video. Thank you so much for watching.